One of the main reasons I bought this camera was because of the film simulations. I tried out a few recipes and I found my favorites. Maybe of all time? Let's take a look. I'll start with some of the native film simulation that comes with this camera, and those are Classic Chrome, Classic Negative, and Eterna. Let me start with Classic Chrome. Is not based on any film stock. It's based more on a look that Fuji Colors wanted to make. So it has natural colors and has a subdued look. It's great for street photography, but also documentary photography. And I use it occasionally when I'm out doing street photography. Classic Negative mimics Classic Chrome, but a bit more warmer and shift towards the red in highlights. It's great for street portraits or portraits in general because of the softer look, warmer highlights, and deep shadows with natural skin color. Classic Negative is also known for having that vintage look, and it removes some of the saturation and gives that faded look that I really like. So I use it mostly for street photography, but mostly for private events where I'm photographing my friends and family. Up next is Eterna, which is a great film simulation native to X100V. I use Eterna mostly for filming, and it's so easy to color grade compared to my Sony A7C, which I have to color grade. In high contrast scenes, I can just shoot in F-Log and use an Eterna LUT as color grading afterwards in post-production. The next couple of recipes are from FujiXweekly.com, which has a great amount of recipes from all Fuji cameras, so do check it out. Portra 400 is a very popular film stock that is used by street photographers all over, and also used with the Portra 800. So this film recipe is based on the original film stock, and it's really great for portrait photography, landscape photography, and street photography. And I've been using this film simulation a lot for the last couple of months, and it's great where it's not completely sunny, but it's not overcast, and the sun just comes out. And I feel like it gives a little bit more warmth to my photos. Portra 400 preserves great skin tone and also had that really vintage feeling look about the photos. Kodak Tri-X 400 is one of my personal favorite black and white film stocks, and it is also one of my favorite recipes for my Fuji X100V. Tri-X 400 is a very popular film stock among street photographers for good reason, and this film recipe is based on that original film stock. And with small tweaks, you can really get this recipe to resemble the original film stock. It's a great film recipe that I can use in a very contrast-filled scenes or weather, and I use it mostly for street photography, but also for other type of photography that I'm doing. It's just overall a great black and white recipe. Next is Kodachrome 64. So this film stock is super versatile and it's also one of my favorites. Kodachrome 64 can be used in any light condition because it's based on the auto white balance, which means that you can use it in daylight, you can use it at night, and you can use it in overcast weather. So a truly versatile film recipe that I love to use. Fuji Superior 800. I was looking for a recipe that I could use for those overcast days or rainy days where the clouds are hanging low and it's basically there's no light available. So I found this recipe that is really great because it's based on a recipe that has dynamic range of 400 and it's very high contrast, which means that it's very versatile in those conditions. And also it adds a subtle blue cast to your photos. I primarily use it for street photography on those really boring overcast days. I was looking for a great night street photography film recipe and I found this one after some research on FujiXweekly.com. It's called Sirs 500T. I hope I pronounced that correctly, but it's a great film recipe that is really versatile in terms of using it at night street photography or for blue hour because it has a very distinct blue cast or blue tint that it adds to the photographs, and I simply just love that, and it has been my favorite go-to film recipe for night street photography. I mentioned some of my favorite film recipes so far. I have to mention a flop. So I recently tried out the film recipe of Cinestill 800T. So the original film stock of Cinestill 800T is just amazing, and you can use it for night street photography, and it's very popular among street photographers because it gives that cinematic look to your photographs, especially when you pair it with a Cinebloom filter or black mist filter, and it has a distinct blue, yellow, green cast or tint to your photographs as well. And when I tried out the recipe, it didn't really resemble the original film stock. Maybe I tried a film recipe that wasn't really good, but for now, in my book, that was a flop. There are so many great film recipes out there. The ones I mentioned are just a few that I personally like myself. So if you're thinking about buying a Fuji camera or just playing around with film recipes, these are the ones you can try out. All right, take care. See you in the next one.